Live from the studio at the Northwest Florida School of Biblical Studies, this is Have a Bible Question, where you are part of the program. Now, let's go to the Bible for answers to your Bible questions.
Brian McCary, let's answer that one real quick. That was a pretty simple one. As a Gentile, do we have to be circumcised? Now, to answer this, we're going to go to 1 Timothy as well as Titus. Well, find the verses for me. I don't remember the exact verse, but this was actually a problem. Now, under the Old Testament law, Jews had to be circumcised, which was a sealing of the covenant with Abraham. It signified that. And so we come over to the New Testament, and this was kind of an area of contention because to the Jews, circumcision was very sacred. Now, Timothy was the son of a Jewish mother and a Gentile father, and everybody knew that. Now, he was not circumcised, and you get into this whole question of, well, how would anybody know if he was circumcised or not? But it would be one of those things. Certainly, he wouldn't lie about it, and to be asked. And so the question came down about Timothy, whether he should be circumcised or not. Paul went ahead and told Timothy to be circumcised. Do you have the passage for us by chance?
Actually, I had gone to Galatians, but maybe he has it. I think it's Acts 16.
Acts 16.
Yeah.
Acts 16,
right.
1 through 3. Let's just read that real quick. Then he came to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there named Timothy, the son of a certain Jewish woman who believed, but his father was Greek. He was well spoken of by the brethren who were at Lystra and Iconium. Paul wanted to have him go on with him, and he took him and circumcised him. And here's the reason: because of the Jews who were in that region, for they all knew that his father was Greek.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so what he didn't want is for there to be a hindrance for the preaching as far as Timothy going out. He didn't want there to be a hindrance, so he has him to be circumcised. What's interesting, Titus was not, because Titus was a Gentile, did not have that connection, and that's where they put the foot down. And really, the Jerusalem Council helps us in Acts 15 as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it answers the question that, and they didn't lay that upon them. That was the reason they went to Jerusalem. Is these Jews are going around saying that if you want to be a Christian, you have to be an Israelite, a Jew first, and the only way you can do that is being circumcised, being proselyted in.
Right. I think we would call that a matter of expediency. That's why he was, because of Paul's labor among the Jews.
I'll tell you what, it tells you something about the dedication of Timothy, though, that he would be willing to go through that just to make sure that their things would not be hindered.
Yeah, and that's the key, is not to hinder his message.
But in answer to his question about being a Gentile and circumcision, if you go to the book of Galatians, and of course, Paul had just recently been there, and then these Judaizing teachers came there, and you can read some of the effects of it. That's why they had the meeting in Jerusalem in Acts chapter 15. But he pointed out in verse 6 of chapter 5, he said, "For in Jesus Christ neither circumcision availeth anything, nor uncircumcision, but faith which worketh by love." And the problem was they were Gentiles, and many of them had submitted to circumcision based upon what the Judaizing teachers said. They were making it a test of faith, as if it were required by the gospel. But, of course, Paul said that was not the case. So I just wanted to point that out as well.
That's a great point.
So just to be clear, on answering the question, that's one of the things you and I have talked about. We always want to make sure we're clear with our answer, because we're talking around a good bit. But as a Gentile, do we have to be circumcised? No, that was never a part of the New Testament law, to be a Christian.
Yeah.
So
I would argue with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to be facetious here. You need to be circumcised of the heart.
Of the heart. There you go.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
Yeah, and that's also pointed out in Galatians
and Romans too.
I set myself up on that one. Certainly. We want to be circumcised of the heart. It's not an outward cutting of flesh, but yet it's the inward heart in which needs to be circumcised and be touched.